Take a deep breath, let your shoulders drop. Feel the weight of financial worry begin to dissolve as you listen. This isn't just another manifestation video, this is the revelation you've been waiting for. Neville Goddard's most powerful, most direct, and yes, most forbidden technique for attracting money with an immediacy that defies conventional wisdom. What if I told you that financial abundance could flow to you not in months or years, but in days? What if the secret to this rapid manifestation wasn't in complex rituals or exhausting effort, but in a single, profound inner shift that most spiritual teachers are afraid to share? You're here because something within you, the real you, recognizes a truth that's about to be spoken. The world has kept this technique hidden, not through conspiracy, but through misunderstanding. While others chase external solutions, Neville Goddard discovered the internal key that unlocks immediate financial flow. I'm speaking of the assumption, the most potent creative force in your universe. Assumption is not hoping. Assumption is not affirming. Assumption is not visualizing. Assumption is becoming. And in becoming, you transform your financial reality faster than any conventional method could ever achieve. When Neville spoke of this technique, he did so carefully, knowing its power could be misunderstood. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, he said. But what he was really teaching was how to step into a new identity entirely, the identity of someone already living in abundant wealth. Most seekers fail because they keep their desired state at a distance. They visualize wealth as something to attain tomorrow, next month, next year. They speak affirmations as if convincing themselves of something not yet real. They work and strain and struggle, all while maintaining the very identity that keeps wealth at bay. But you're about to learn different. You're about to discover how to collapse time itself through the power of assumption. Not by wishing for money, but by experiencing yourself as someone who already possesses it in abundance. The technique I'm about to share works with such immediacy because it bypasses the conscious mind entirely. It speaks directly to the subconscious, that deeper part of you that doesn't understand time, doesn't know limitation, and accepts as real whatever state you fully embody. This isn't manifestation as you've known it. This is becoming the person who naturally attracts wealth without effort, without strain, without the desperate energy of need. This is transformation at the level of identity itself. When you master this forbidden technique, money doesn't come because you've earned it. Money comes because it's the only possible outcome for the person you've become. It flows to you not by chance, but by law, the law of assumption that Neville revealed as the foundation of all manifestation. Let me be clear about something. This isn't about tricking yourself into feeling wealthy while ignoring your bills. This isn't about denying reality. This is about understanding the true nature of reality itself. That your assumptions are the causative force behind every circumstance in your life, including your financial circumstances. Some call this technique forbidden because it challenges everything you've been taught about how wealth is created. You've been told that money comes through hard work, through struggle, through paying your dues. But Neville discovered something far more profound, that money, like everything else in your experience, comes to you in exact accordance with the state of consciousness you assume. The financial reality you experience today is nothing more than the outpicturing of past assumptions. Your bank account balance, your income, your financial opportunities, all are external reflections of internal states you've occupied. And when you change those internal states through the technique I'm about to share, your external reality must change to match it. This isn't speculation. This isn't theory. This is law, as immutable and reliable as gravity itself. And when you work with this law rather than against it, financial transformation isn't just possible, it's inevitable. The secret is simple yet profound. Feeling is the secret. Not action, not strategy, not endless planning. The feeling of already being financially abundant is what draws that abundance into your visible world with astonishing speed. Now let me share the forbidden technique itself, a two-part process, so simple that most dismiss it, yet so powerful that it can revolutionize your financial reality in days rather than years. The first part begins tonight, as you prepare for sleep. This is when the veil between conscious and subconscious mind grows thin. When your analytical mind quiets, allowing deeper impressions to take root. Neville called this state the drowsy state, that magical threshold between waking and sleeping, where manifestation accelerates beyond ordinary limits. Here's what you'll do. Tonight, as you lie in bed, eyes closed, body relaxed, you'll perform what Neville called the act of assumption. Not visualization, not affirmation, but embodiment. You'll step into the feeling of being financially abundant now, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Imagine yourself lying there in complete tranquility. You're breathing deep and even. And within this peaceful state, allow yourself to feel what it would feel like if money were no longer a concern in your life. Don't just picture it. Feel it in your body. Feel the subtle shift in your chest as financial anxiety dissolves. Feel the relaxation in your shoulders as the burden of lack lifts away. Perhaps you imagine checking your bank account and seeing a balance that brings a smile to your face. Perhaps you feel the satisfaction of paying bills with ease, with abundance left over. Perhaps you experience the quiet confidence of walking through your day knowing you are more than provided for. Whatever scene naturally arises, don't just observe it, become it. Enter fully into this new state of being. Let your entire nervous system register this new reality. Let every cell in your body respond to this new financial truth. This isn't pretending. This is assuming a new state of consciousness from which your outer world must and will reshape itself. As you drift towards sleep, maintain this feeling. Don't force it. Don't strain. Simply rest in it, knowing that as you sleep, this new assumption is being impressed upon your subconscious mind, becoming the new blueprint from which your financial reality will form. Now for the second part of the technique, what you'll do upon waking. This is where most fail, returning immediately to their habitual state of financial worry. But you will be different. You will maintain the feeling you established before sleep, carrying it into your day not through effort, but through faithful assumption. How does one who is financially abundant move through the world? They don't rush anxiously. They don't speak of lack. They carry themselves with a quiet assurance. Their decisions around money come from sufficiency, not scarcity. This becomes your practice, not pretending, but embodying this new financial identity in every moment. When you purchase your morning coffee, feel the subtle satisfaction of abundance as you pay. When you check your phone, expect good financial news. When you interact with others, carry the energy of someone who is supported, provided for, financially secure. This isn't about ignoring bills or responsibilities, it's about approaching them from an entirely new state of being. Pay what needs to be paid, but do so from your new identity, the identity of someone for whom money flows easily, naturally, abundantly. Throughout your day, you'll notice moments when the old identity attempts to reassert itself. Financial worry may arise, doubt may surface. When this happens, don't fight it, don't judge yourself. Simply notice, take a breath, and gently return to your assumed state of financial abundance. Remember, this isn't a technique of doing, it's a technique of being. You're not trying to manifest money, you're simply being the version of yourself who already experiences financial abundance as your natural state, and from this new state of being, new financial circumstances must and will emerge. This will feel unusual at first. Your old patterns of thought and feeling have deep grooves. But with each return to your new assumption, you deepen new grooves, you strengthen new patterns. You solidify your new financial identity. Some call this technique forbidden because it bypasses all external methods. It acknowledges that wealth isn't something you chase but something you allow through becoming the person who experiences it naturally. When you truly understand this principle, you'll see why it works with such remarkable speed. The assumption of your new financial identity is not something you do once and forget. It's something you live in, moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath, not with strain, not with force, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that their inner state is the sole creator of their outer circumstances. This is the forbidden technique in its essence. Assume the feeling of financial abundance now, and maintain that assumption until it hardens into fact. Now, let's address what happens after you've practiced this forbidden technique. For many, the transformation will be swift. Financial doors opening within days, unexpected money appearing, opportunities arising seemingly from nowhere. The assumption of wealth becomes tangible wealth with a speed that might astonish you. But what if day 3 comes and nothing visible has changed? This is the pivotal moment, the moment that separates those who truly understand Neville's teaching from those who merely dabble in it. This is where the true power of the forbidden technique reveals itself. If external evidence hasn't yet caught up with your internal shift, you haven't failed. You've simply entered the testing ground. This apparent delay isn't rejection, it's preparation. It's the reshaping of your entire financial landscape to accommodate your new state of being. The bridge of incidence is forming, even when invisible to your physical eyes. Remember Neville's profound instruction. The time it takes your assumption to become fact, your desire to be fulfilled, depends upon your feeling of naturalness. The question isn't whether this technique works. The question is whether you can maintain your assumption regardless of temporary appearances. This is where most return to their old state, searching desperately for evidence, checking accounts obsessively, measuring, doubting, worrying, and in doing so, they undo the very work they've begun. But you understand deep, you recognize that this moment of apparent nothingness is actually the chrysalis, the sacred space between what was and what will be. So instead of retreating into doubt, you double down on your assumption. You stand even more firmly in your new financial identity. You walk even more confidently, speak even more assuredly, breathe even more easily, not because you're trying to make something happen, but because you're living from the end, from the state where it has already happened. And here's the extraordinary truth that few ever grasp. When your feeling of financial abundance becomes more real to you than any external circumstance, those external circumstances must transform to match your internal reality, not through force, not through will, but through law, the law of assumption that governs all manifestation. Your financial world is not responding to what you do, it's responding to who you are being, and when who you are being changes fundamentally, your financial world must change in kind. There is no other possibility within this universe. Now, listen closely. The real transformation isn't when money appears in your account. The real transformation is when you no longer need that money to appear in order to feel financially abundant. That's when you've truly embodied Neville's teaching. That's when you've mastered the forbidden technique. And paradoxically, that's precisely when the money shows up, when you no longer seek it from a place of absence, but expect it from a place of presence. This is the secret within the secret. This is the forbidden knowledge behind the forbidden technique. Financial abundance isn't something you get, it's something you become. And once you become it, in consciousness, you must experience it in reality. So walk through your days with the quiet confidence of someone who is already wealthy. Pay your bills with gratitude rather than worry. Speak of abundance as your natural state. Make choices from sufficiency rather than scarcity, not as affirmation, not as pretense, but as authentic expression of your new identity. Because you are not becoming wealthy. You are wealthy now in the only place it truly matters, in the creative center of your consciousness, from which all external circumstances flow. This is why Neville called assumption the foundation of all manifestation. This is why this technique works with such immediacy when fully understood and applied. This is why your financial reality can transform not through years of struggle, but through days of faithful assumption. You are the operant power in your universe. Not your circumstances, not your past, not the economy, not the opinions of others. You, through the states of consciousness you occupy, are creating every aspect of your financial reality in each moment. So assume wisely, assume powerfully, assume faithfully. For as Neville taught, whatever you assume, consciously or unconsciously, though it may seem false in the moment, if persisted in will harden into fact. Your financial abundance is not coming. It is here. It is done. The outer world is simply catching up to what you have already established in consciousness. This is your inheritance. This is your birthright. This is the forgotten truth now remembered. You are the wealth you seek. You always were.